What's poppin', y'all? Y'all know what this is. This is the place where sports opinions collide. That is Sports 365. I'm your man, Manny Brown. What's going on? As always, before we get into it, make sure you go like this video and go subscribe to all things Dead in Sports. Y'all know what we're trying to do. New videos, new content each and every day, all 2022, 365 days. Let's get it. So my namesake, Mr. Manny Ramirez, made some comments that has New York talk radio and sports media alike in an uproar. His comments were Derek Jeter, and if Derek Jeter played in another city, let's say Kansas City, Derek Jeter would just be another guy. Is he right? Is he wrong? Is Manny Ramirez on something? Is he onto something? What is it, right? I'm going to come out here and say it right now. And this is something that I have believed in my heart of hearts, but not even. Let's wait. Before I get into that, full disclosure, right? Y'all know me. I am a card-carrying New York Yankees hater. So before I even get into this, I'm going to tell y'all where I'm coming from a stance of I hate the Yankees. I hate all things Yankees. I'm a card-carrying Yankee fan, Yankee hater, right? All right, now that that's been put out there, Manny Ramirez is right. He is 100% spot on. Derek Jeter is a New York media creation. Now, when I say that, what does that mean, right? I'm not saying that Derek Jeter was not great. I'm not saying that Derek Jeter, the player, is not great. Derek Jeter is a worthy Hall of Famer, a clutch hitter, a great postseason performer, deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, deserves to be in Cooperstown. No argument, no debate. But the coverage, the aura, the narrative around Derek Jeter, the hype that has been built up by Yankee fans and Yankee media and the New York City media as a whole, that Derek Jeter was basically Jesus Christ reincarnated, put on earth in a Yankees uniform to basically bless us with his greatness and his performance, and that no other player, no other individual even compares to the gravitas and the ability and the sheer will of Derek Jeter is a bunch of crock. It's a bunch of bull, bro. Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100. Derek Jeter was a very good player, a great hitter, especially in the postseason. But if Derek Jeter was on the Orioles, if Derek Jeter was in Kansas City, he'd be Craig Biggio. Like, let's be 100. Let's, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's keep it real. Like, he'd be Craig Biggio. He'd be Robin Yount. He'd be a guy that people respected, people loved, worthy Hall of Famers, but guys that wouldn't get the coverage, wouldn't get the notoriety, wouldn't get the attention. Derek Jeter benefited from being on a great team, a historically great team, with a lot of great players around him. Like, when you played the 98 Yankees, when you played the 99 Yankees with the 2000 Yankees, 96, even go back to the first championship, 96. Like, was Derek Jeter the best hitter in those lineups? No. Was he the most feared hitter in those lineups? No. Bernie Williams was. Paul O'Neill. Hell, even Tino. Like, these dudes were great, had power, got big hits. And yes, Derek Jeter was on base a lot of times. Derek Jeter was the setup guy in a lot of ways. But was he the guy that you sat there, stayed up all night the night before thinking about, damn, I got to get Derek Jeter out? I don't think so. And that's not to denigrate Derek Jeter. He was a great player, but the coverage and the media coverage around him is what I feel like is overrated. What makes Derek Jeter, in the eyes of a lot of ball players, overrated. Like, media will have you thinking that Derek Jeter was basically, it's like Babe Ruth, Jesus, Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, in that order. And it's like, yo, chill out. He was not that good. First of all, you could argue he wasn't even the best shortstop of his era, because Nomar, when he was in his prime and he was healthy, was just as good, if not better, especially as a hitter. He was a better hitter than Derek Jeter. A-Rod, I know all the controversies and the phoniness of A-Rod aside, A-Rod was a better player than Derek Jeter. Let's keep it a buck. Miguel Tejada, for a period of time, was as good defensively and as a hitter had more power and won an MVP. Like, there was a lot of guys at his position that were just as good, if not better. And we're not even talking about overall as a player. Albert Pujols, Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds. I mean, listen, the list goes on and on and on. So Manny Ramirez is right. Like, Derek Jeter would have been another guy in the sense that he would have been another guy that people he would have been Mike Trout. Great player, a player that people love, that people respect, would have called him one of the best of the game, best of his time or whatever. But they would have been like, oh, okay, he's just another guy. He would have been in obscurity, right? Obviously, you put him in New York. He's the Yankee shortstop. He's the Yankee captain, the modern day baseball dynasty. Of course he's going to get that coverage. So I'm not an idiot, but that's not to say that he was as good as, say, an Albert Pujols or as a Ken Griffey Jr. or Nomar when he was healthy and in his prime. Like, these were all better players than Derek Jeter. But Yankee fans won't tell you that. The New York media that are basically sycophants for the Yankees won't tell you that. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Yo, Derek Jeter was a worthy Hall of Famer, great player, great hitter. Absolutely. But was he the best player in baseball? I'm going to ask y'all this, and y'all can reply to me in the comments. Was Derek Jeter ever the best player in baseball? From his career, from 1996 to 2014, was Derek Jeter ever the best player in baseball? No. Be honest. He was not. He was not. He was one of top 10, maybe top 15. But was he the best player in the game? No, he wasn't. But Yankee fans and the media will have you believing that Derek Jeter was that guy. He was not that guy, bro. Like, it's okay. It's okay to say, like, yo, he wasn't that guy. But he was a hell of a player. He was clutch. Absolutely. No arguments. So, yeah, Manny Ramirez is spot on, man. And I'm sure a lot of players feel that way. A lot of his contemporaries feel that way. That doesn't mean that they don't respect the guy. They don't respect his career. They don't respect what he's accomplished. They just don't like the fact that this guy was anointed and was made this, like, Jesus Christ-like figure when it's like, yo, he wasn't really that guy. Like, he was like, yo, who was the best player on the Yankees? Bernie Williams. I'll say it right now, and that may be a hot take, but Bernie, out of that period from 96 to 2000, who was the best player on the Yankees? It was Bernie Williams and Mariano Rivera. And if you're a real Yankee fan and if you're a real baseball fan and you watched the game back then, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. I'm sure this video will cause up a controversy. Hey, listen, don't be in the comments if you're a Yankee fan or you're a Derek Jeter groupie attacking me, yo. I'm just speaking facts. I'm just speaking reality here. Like, yo, it's not. Now, listen, Derek Jeter from the dating pool and the dating game is undefeated, but that's not what we talk about. We talk about on the field, between the white lines. Derek Jeter was overrated. He'd have just been another guy in another city. All right, man. Make sure you go like this video. Drop a comment. Be polite, but drop a comment. Be respectful. Drop a comment. Like, subscribe, support everything we got going on. Go make sure you go subscribe and go support Any Given Sunday. We'll be back with another episode this coming Sunday. And go make sure you go tap into Dead End Sports. We'll be live on Thursday night covering all things NBA draft. For Manny Brown, this is Dead End Sports 365. I'm out. Peace.